Alright everybody, welcome back to Three-Sided Box Prediction Center for the NFL. Second to last week of playoff action and second to last week of predictions for this league. It's been a good ride so far. Last week we all finished 3-1. All our picks were the exact same, and that Seattle-Carolina game came pretty dang close, I will say that. All games were actually very exciting except for the Denver-Pittsburgh game. That was kind of a snooze fest.
I found that good up until the end.
Yeah, at the end it was a little more, but it was a little bit. I was yawning. I'll say it. Peyton, where your deep passes? Where they at? But we come to the first prediction of the week. Our most hated Patriots against our beloved Denver Broncos.
No, my most hated.
Okay. Oops. Whatever. Who do you got, Dave?
This is probably the hardest pick all season.
Very difficult pick.
It's
Brady Manning 17.
Yeah, and it's like the Patriots, because of their injuries and their not super convincing Patriots-esque style play that they've been doing the last couple of weeks. You're not fully convinced that they could win it all, but because they're the New England Patriots, it's Tom Brady, it's Bill Belichick, you feel like they're almost gonna have to win. And then you have the flip side. You have a rejuvenated Broncos team who's playing pretty well overall. Defense is great. Manning has, from my point of view, inspired the team to play harder and better just by being there again. It's a really tough one to see. I believed in the Broncos all year. I picked them to win some games that no one else did, but I'm gonna play it safe this week and pick the Pats just because I just don't see Brady losing. But at the same time, it's hard. I don't know. I want the Broncos to win, but I think the Pats are gonna take it.
Cool. Who do you think, Mike? I think it's obvious.
It's a bit of a tough one, but actually Brady, I think Belichick have not won in Mile High. I don't think they ever have won. I think they're 0-4.
It's possible.
I think they are, or they only have won once. I'm not sure. It's one of those two, but
last time they met, they lost. I know that.
Yeah, from the referees.
Back when Denver had a suspect defense. Very suspect.
Very suspect. Going on with the pick, I'll be honest, I wasn't too convinced with Denver last week. I really wasn't. They played a completely battered and bruised Steelers team with like 60% Ben Roethlisberger, no Marquise Pouncey, no Antonio Brown, no Le'Veon Bell, and no D'Angelo Williams, and I was not impressed. They really could not stop them. And I think Bill Belichick, he saw the game plan. He's viewing the game. And he's like, I see a lot of holes in this team, in this defense. As great as it is, as great as they played, they still do have a little bit of holes, especially in that secondary when they play zone. So I'm going to go with the Pats on this. I just don't think they're going to be able to cover Gronk. And now with Edelman as like another aspect, he's going to go in between the zones, and he's going to be a huge factor in this game. So I'm going to go with the Pats.
I'll say this. The Patriots beat the Kansas City Chiefs by basically one score. Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs are a very good team, but Alex Smith. Tends to, underperform for some reason when it becomes coach time. But it's a team game. Broncos are in Mile High. Akeem Talib played for the Patriots, so he knows a bit what he's coming into. He might share some knowledge in the preparation for that game. DeMarcus Ware is one of my favorite defensive players of all time to watch play. He's amazing. The defense in general is doing its job. I mean, week in, week out, we see they win games they should win by a lot, but they win them by narrow margins, and it's because the defense holds the other team to barely any points or sometimes scores points for them. Broncos, I love you. I really do. I'm going to go with the safe bet of the Patriots just because of Gronk. You can't answer Gronk. If they can answer Gronk, the Broncos have a very big chance.
Yeah.
But it's also that problem with Edelman. He's such a shifty receiver.
High IQ.
Very high IQ, and he's a little arrogant around these times, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to the Patriots, but I hope I'm wrong. I'll say that.
Well, I'll say one thing though, Michael. In terms of you saying the Broncos didn't impress you, I think that was just they underestimated the resiliency of the Steelers.
Absolutely,
because they've been playing that well.
And the Steelers are an experienced team. They're a well-coached team. They're experienced. They have guys who know how to win. They have extreme
Not just that, but all season they've been injured, and I think they learned how to win with
I know,
without certain
but
players.
if you just imagine this team with Antonio Brown, I mean, I think that this game would have been won by at least 10 points for the Steelers. I don't think the Broncos would have stood a chance in this game. As good as that team is, that team, the Broncos can't run the ball. They could, I wouldn't say they could barely pass, but their receivers aren't exactly getting open anymore.
I'll say this as an argument, is that the Broncos have played some teams that they should have beat by huge margins, like I said, but instead the defense still let in points against these weaker teams.
Mm-hmm.
It still let in points, but it was always like 20 to 14, 20 to 14, 20
that's
14.
That's what it comes down to. That defense is good. It's going to give up some points. I don't think it's going to give up much to the Pats, but I think it's going to give up some, but how the Broncos going to do anything? I mean, Jamie Collins is back. He's going to stop that run.
I think it's
he's going to stop
simple
those
as they underestimated the Steelers, who knew how to win without their starters.
I think if the Broncos want to win, they need to do one thing. QB sneaks the whole time. It'll confuse Belichick. He won't know what's happening.
For the first time ever.
We'll see if they can stump the Belichick onto the next and final game of the week. We're coming down to only a few games.
So to finish off championship weekend, we head to the NFC. We have the Cardinals riding into Carolina for the Panthers. Very, very tough game to pick. Who do you guys have?
I'm going to go ahead and say right away that I thought Seattle would come into Carolina. And I always mention that playing in Carolina is the worst thing ever for some reason. That stadium is cursed.
It snowed right before the game started.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. And then the sun came out, and then it was windy, and you name it. And look what happened in that first half. They got blown up by Carolina. And then they sort of got their bearings in the second half, but it was too late at that point. And Hauschka missed that field goal to end the half. I mean, they must have been just crushed, Yeah. So Carolina is a very good team. I mean, you can't go 15-1 or now 16-1, I guess, without being good.
Mm-hmm.
But the home ice or home field seems to be always working in their favor. They had a great schedule this year where it almost seemed like they played every game at home.
Yeah,
I mean,
I said that multiple times.
When I look back, it just feels like they had these stretches where they'd play 4 or 5 straight, or 3 or 4 straight at home. And anyway, Cardinals came off a very emotional victory against Green Bay. Probably one of the most classic football games that we talked about for years to come.
One of the best, I think, ever.
Yeah, probably one of the most exciting I've ever seen. For Collinsworth and Michaels to be just laughing maniacally the entire time. They weren't even saying anything. It was just like, oh, are you kidding? Wow, like just no analysis. I don't know. It's a tough one to call because Arizona has a great offense and a very good defense. Carolina seems to be working on the same. Oh, they're very similar teams in a lot of respects, but I gotta give the edge to the Panthers just because Cam Newton seems to be playing really well. He wants it.
Bruce.
I'm not giving up on Bruce because I'm pulling the Broncos over here. I want to be wrong, but on paper and objectively, without putting my emotions into it, I need to pick the Carolina Panthers.
Oh my God, you heard it here first. He didn't pick Manning or Bruce Arians in the same.
I want to be so wrong because nothing would be nicer for me than an Arians Manning Super Bowl. That'd be the most emotionally invested one I've been in since probably 2009.
Yeah.
Or actually when Manning was in against the Seahawks a couple years back.
That was a great game.
That was a very embarrassing game, but you know what? He had a good game. His team didn't.
Yeah.
But the Panthers, I'm going to pick them just because, did you see that Olsen catch in the end zone? He was like sideways in the air, and it was just one of those things where you just look at it and say, that it works.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah. Against one of the best defenses, they picked them apart. I'm going Panthers.
Man, it's a really tough one to pick. I really...
Especially after my in-depth analysis.
But Panthers, I feel like, even throughout the year, they even admitted it. Even Greg Olsen, Cam Newton admitted it. They need to find a way to close out games.
Yeah.
And in the playoffs, it almost cost them. You know, like up 31-0, I believe.
Yeah, it came down to one score.
And it came down to it, and they almost lost. I mean, or they almost tied the game, and it could have potentially.
If the games were 70 minutes, it could have ended very differently.
Yeah. The Giants are. Could we make the game 70 minutes shorter?
Just 3 minutes for the Giants.
But yeah. So that being said, it's tough, but I'm gonna go with a little bit of my heart. I think Larry Fitzgerald is probably the most hungry player I've ever seen. Going for a ring. I mean, that guy. We all saw it at the end of the game. We even spoke about it earlier. I mean, the guy is just pure class. The guy just shows up so big in playoff times. And what's disappointing is that the Cardinals haven't been there like throughout like their history, so he hasn't exactly seen the field in the playoffs as much. But yeah, I'm gonna go with them. I just think he's gonna come up big. I just don't think
I think the NFL should be allowed to let Fitzgerald play for whoever's in the Super Bowl. Pick a team. Here's your ring. Enjoy. Yeah. So who do you got, dude?
I think the Panthers are due for a loss. Start off my statement the way I have for 18 weeks now.
You just jinxed it because now they're gonna win.
No,
why must you speak?
I don't know. I think the Cards are gonna take it. I think Fitzgerald is hungry. I think Carson Palmer is very hungry. The guy is as good as he's playing. He's still getting up there in age. Bruce Arians, I don't think there's anybody in the league that's hungrier than this guy to win. And Carolina proved to me last week, they started off great, but I think the second half, Carolina Panthers was the real Panthers. I think the first half was don't get me wrong, they're a good team. They deserve what they've been doing. They've been winning a lot of games and they're playing great. But I just feel that first half Carolina team was more Seattle completely caught off guard about what's going to happen. And
a bit of luck also.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the Seattle and the second team, the second that they showed that, for sure in the locker room, Pete Carroll told them, like, guys, you either win now, we do something now, or you can leave right now. Like, you're not playing unless you actually show me that you want to win.
I think what you're trying to say is that, like, when they face adversity, they crumple up a little bit.
Not just, they crumple up a bit, and they're cocky. They felt like, 31 points, we don't have to we can take our time.
I will say this. Bruce Arians takes risks.
Yeah.
He takes very big risks a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't pay off. But the thing that does, it plays a psychological game against the opposing coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells them, okay, I missed, but I'm coming back.
Yeah.
And then this time maybe I won't miss.
Yeah.
So if the Panthers have a quick start, then I think my prediction holds. If they don't have a quick start and Arians manages to pull some of those, fast ones on them, then I see it ending badly.
I disagree because I still feel like the Panthers are going to start hot again. I think they're going to be up 14-0 fast. I think maybe a big run and maybe a pick six even from Carson Palmer.
Crowd's going to be into it.
Yeah, and I think the second that Bruce Arians sees that, he's going to sit all 53 guys on the bench. No one's going to be on the field. Like, guys, you win right now or get the hell out of here because I'm not coaching you. I'll tear up your contract right here, and now you're not playing.
All they have to do is just give the ball to Larry Fitzgerald.
And I think that's all they need because I feel like they're just, first of all, they're, on paper, Carolina is not as talented as the Cardinals, and Bruce Arians is a 10 times better coach than Juan Rivera could ever be.
Yeah.
So,
all right, so we got Panthers.
No,
Panthers.
Cardinals. Panthers.
I think you're so torn from picking.
I know. I really.
Just pick them, man.
All right, your pick was.
I got the Cardinals.
Carolina Cardinals.
So Carr.
Yeah.
No wait, Cards.
Cards, Panthers, Cards.
It's a bird sandwich. Is what it is. Anyway, so those are our picks for this week. It's been a great ride. We're gonna see you guys next week when we predict the Super Bowl, which is 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
And hopefully we have something to talk about after that. Maybe some post-game analysis. But till then, this has been Three Sided Box Prediction Center signing off for the playoffs.